A lot of players have mixed feelings about snow right now in Regulation H. While Pelipper is very common in being able to get rid of that weather and threaten the amount of freeze dry, and Aurora Veil with screens is always really solid, it is weak to the steel moves from Arcalon and Golden Go, some of the best Pokemon in the format right now. We're going to be trying out Ninetales alongside some partners with the snow team that I've created and seeing how well it can perform. This is a snow team with Empoleon, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite stars out there, and we're going to be trying out and seeing how well it can perform. We have the snow mode with the Ninetales and the Baxcaliber, which is an interesting Pokemon. I think it has potential in this format, but it is really rough, as I mentioned before, with the steel types running around with the Arcalodons and Golden Goes. It can be really hard for Baxcaliber to exactly thrive in the format, but having that snow boosting the ice type's physical defense by +1 seems pretty strong, and then just running some Terras alongside Aurora Veil can make it extremely bulky into a lot of coverage out there. For instance, grass types like Rillaboom and Amoonguss and more. So we have the Light Clay Ninetales, this one with Aurora Veil, Freeze Dry, Moonblast, because I feel fairy coverage is very scarce in this format, so having that Moonblast option, pressure for instance Annihilate, can be really good. And then the last move is interesting that I decided to go for Howl. There were a lot of moves I was considering, like Encore, potentially Disable, Protect of course is a staple, but I thought after I was building this team and how the final product went with multiple physical attackers, I thought, why not use Howl paired with the Clear Amulet Baxcaliber with the Palmot that's also really fast and can go for really strong hits. Howl a +1 close combat for instance can knock out on Arcalodon, which seemed really impressive to me, so I thought why not try it out and see how well it can perform. And of course the Assault Vest Rillaboom on this team. We have the Baxcaliber with that Clear Amulet to prevent Intimidates, which is really nice from affecting it. We have the Terra Fire to help out as a resistance to the steel coverage out there. And we have just really good coverage with Ice Skull Crash, Glaive Rush, which is really strong. And high horsepower, I decided just to help out against Arcalodon, against Golden Go, and against fire types, which just seemed really nice to have. Next ever Pokemon I did want to try with snow that I thought could take advantage of the Aurora Veil. Volcarona was a big one because it's able to set up. It's one of the nice Pokemon against those steel types like Arcalodon and Golden Go, because a Quiver Dance Volcarona is able to tank attacks extremely well against them. And I thought, you know, the combination of Aurora Veil and Quiver Dance makes Volcarona extremely bulky, can help out against those specific steel types that just give the snow mode in generally a bunch of trouble. So I thought, you know what, I think it's a really good pair. And then to pair up with that Volcarona that is running just Quiver Dance, Giga Drain with Terra Grass set is going to be the Rillaboom. And I thought, okay, Rillaboom's really nice with Volcarona, helps out against the water types that can make Volcarona be forced to Terra. If I don't have to Terra it, I use my Rillaboom to take care of those water types. And of course, grassy terrain to help out. This team's extremely bulky, so having a bit of terrain recovery does seem really nice here. And a way to pivot out that can help out against Weather War seems really solid. Palmot was a Pokemon I really did want to try on this team, having again more Pokemon that can just pressure an Arcalodon for instance, as well as King Gambit that I thought could be potentially a bit scary, especially if it's able to set up. So having that option with the Revival Blessing I thought could make some really cool plays on an extremely bulky team, because let's say you get rid of one of these mons after like an Aurora Veil and then I can bring it back after Revival Blessing seemed like a really interesting combination alongside the electric coverage, which I felt this team didn't have the best ways to damage Pelipper, especially not outspeeding it without like a Rotom. But I felt like I wanted the fighting coverage for Arcalodon, so I thought, you know what, I think Palmot fits here. Revival Blessing seems just like a cool tech, and why not try it out? Natural Cure to help out against the Amoonguss and any statuses that can help out, because Volt Absorb not really necessary unless you're switching into Arcalodon. Electro Shock, but of course I do have my own snow mode, so I don't really need like dedicated switch-ins when I can just get rid of the weather and they can't charge the Electro Shot as freely, which is nice. And then the final slot, I was debating about like a Golden Go or King Gambit as another setup Pokemon. And I wanted a steel type because I did have a big flying weakness with the 3 in Palmot, Rillaboom, and Volcarona. And I felt like those would be really nice, but I felt like fire types were still really annoying for the team. I didn't have the best ways of like removing an Incineroar. I didn't have the best ways of just dealing with Terra Firemons in general. Also, one Pokemon that was really still annoying was going to be the Dundozos. I felt, okay, why not try out Empoleon, one of my favorite starters out there, and I felt like it could fit really well on this team. I debated between Milotic and Empoleon, but I think Empoleon was the one that got me. Primarina was also a consideration, but I already had a fairy type, so I didn't feel like it's as necessary as this team. And I felt like having the steel type, just being able to resist the flying was a huge benefit. So adding the Empoleon with the leftovers, I originally had leftovers on Volcarona, but I switched because having Empoleon be able to stick around on the field against Dondozo is very crucial. So being able to heal back all that is really nice. And Empoleon under screens is pretty bulky, and the haze for Dondozo extremely nice. Water Pledge over Hydro Pump because it's actually able to ignore the redirection of Storm Drain, which is a really cool mechanic. Also, it's 100% accurate, which I definitely prefer. If you'd like to check out the details of the team, they will be linked in the description down below. Tatsugiri, Golden Go, Dragon Knight, Annihilate, Dondozo, Stonejourner. You have Stonejourner attack as your Shien pal, so it powers up both Golden Go and the Dragonite, but mainly the matches to Dragonite. I don't know what kind of Annihilate this is. Final Gambit is a little bit scary. Empoleon does have haze on this team for the Dondozo specifically. We do want to use it for that Dondozo. I think it's probably going to be specs on the Golden Go. I don't know what the Annihilate will be. That's a problem. But overall, I am liking a lot my Ninetales. Just set up the Aurora Veil. Seems pretty strong. Who am I pairing it with? Volcarona is not bad. But there is Dragonite. But I do need Golden Go answers, I think. I think Palma might be better than Volcarona. Yeah, I kind of like having Revival Blessing as a backup as well. Rillaboom and Empoleon back, I think. I don't know if you're bringing Dragon, I guess is the question. If you plan to just commit your Terra, and I could definitely see it because I think having only Rillaboom to really pressure the Dondozo. I guess I also have Palmot, or so they could just go for like a Planetera Grass to Dondozo as well. I'm not too sure. We're gonna see Golden Go Stonejourner. All right. This is okay, I guess. Are you Scarf on that Palmot? That's a good question. Or on the Golden Go. If not, I do have a tech. I'm gonna go for Howl and Double Shock because it should knock out the Golden Go. +1 Double Shock. I think it should. Let's see. I don't have to set up Aurora Veil immediately because I don't really see a need to. We're gonna see a Terra. This Terra Steel? Oh, the Stonejourner Terras. Ghost. Okay, they were expecting either fake out or a fighting move there. All right, beautiful. I'll gladly take it. Howl coming out from my Ninetales to power up the Palmot. And now with a Double Shock, I think +1 Double Shock should KO the Golden Go. Oh my, what? Dodge with Palmot. How did that live? All right. Thanks to us getting bailed, I still can get Aurora Veil up in this game. Was not expecting that one. Okay. We're going Rillaboom. Getting the grassy terrain up. Holy cow. What the heck, man? I guess I should have Terra Electric, but I didn't think that that would have survived. I guess now I'm going to Terra Electric. I'm grassy gliding to Golden Go, and I'm going to go for a Revival Blessing to bring back my Ninetales. Which is always my play here. I guess I also had safe plays of going Empoleon, but again, I was really expecting to KO the Golden Go with that combination. But we did get the Grassy Glide, finish off the Golden Go. I don't think Stonejourner will have any priority here. That will affect this game. So we do get a Revival Blessing, and now we get to bring back our Ninetales. So we have a way to set up Aurora Veil once again for our Empoleon, but also if the Dragonite's in the back, we have another answer to it. So you're so adamant about missing. You're so, why would a Stone Edge? Okay, sure. Tatsugiri is sent out, completely fine. Are you Scarf? I guess. I mean, they used a move that can miss. I should save Palmot. I have no idea if this is Scarf or not. I'm just going to Woodhammer Tatsugiri, and I want to bring in Empoleon. I can't lie that the misses have been very nice, but I'm still shocked. I'm still very shocked. We bring in the Empoleon. Tatsugiri is Protect. Okay. So this has to be Rock Slide, right? They seriously are so adamant about clicking the Stone Edge. All right. Woodhammer fails into the Tatsugiri. That's fine. Also, that Stone Edge actually really didn't do as much as I thought it would. I guess I'm going to double up the Stone Journer with Grassy Glide plus Flash Cannon. Yeah, I'm just going to Flash Cannon, go for Grassy Glide, knock out the Stone Journer. I'm not too worried about Tatsugiri. Empoleon walls Tatsugiri pretty much. So all I have to do, get rid of Stone Journer. If they go Dondozo, they're locked in. I get the Haze off. I should be in a really good spot to win the game. So here comes the Grassy Glide. Draco Meteor going to be fired off into Rilla, which we should tank. Yep. The DSL Vest. Rock Slide. All right. Still not over. Okay, we didn't flinch. So Flash Cannon will knock out the Stone Journer. Excellent, excellent, excellent. The Stone Journer down. And now we can go out into Ninetales. Or we could go out into Palmot. I think I'm going to go Palmot always. Killing from this grassy terrain is very nice, by the way. So we're going Palmot. We're going to go for Fake Out into Dondozo. We're going to Haze the Dondozo. As long as this isn't Cover Cloak, we're 100% super safe. And if not, they need a tech on the Dondozo, but they already used Terra, so Terra Blast is out of the question. But yeah, we just get a very safe Fake Out here, assuming no Cover Cloak. And I don't think you need Cover Cloak on Dondozo in this form, but I have no clue. Especially, yeah, let's go for a Fake Out into the Dondozo. Let's go for the Haze and get rid of those boosts. And then we can bring back the Ninetales and start chipping away. I guess I should have Terra the Palmot because Terra Electric would have blasted the Dondozo. Yep, here's a beautiful Haze. That's why we have Empoleon on the team. Snow stops. I can go for it again if I want to. Do I want to go Ninetales or do I just want to go for the Terra Double Shock? I think I just go for Terra Double Shock because if I have Ninetales still around, I can go for a Freeze Dry. So, you know what? Let's go for a Flash Cannon into the Dondozo and the Double Shock. And if we don't KO, Freeze Dry will. So I'm pretty safe on that route as well. Yeah, should have just done this turn one. I know now. I know now. I haven't done Palmot calcs in forever. Especially +1 Palmot calcs with Golden Go. Double Shock. KO? Wow, that actually did just straight up KO. Okay, beautiful. Oh, imagine how easy this game would have been if I just Terra turn one. It actually would have probably been super free turn one. But now we know. Now we know. Let that be a lesson. If you are using this team and you face a Golden Go and you think you can KO with Howl plus Double Shock, go for the Terra and you'll guarantee the KO. In most cases. I'm not promising anything on Focus Sash or Max Defense Gold. Okay. Nice. Nice. Plan against Dondozo worked for the most part how I expected it to. For the most part. Archaludon, Pelipper, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Amoonguss, and the Golden Go. Quiver Dance is really good on Volcarona. Quiver Dance Volcarona is amazing. There's just a Pelipper that's involved. Okay. So I have a lot of tool options. Empoleon is probably the one I don't want to bring, although it does help against the Golden Go. I mean, if I'm bringing Volcarona, I don't think I bring Empoleon because it's not necessary. It does help out against Incineroar, but I do have other mons that are decent against Incineroar overall. I think Volcarona is so good. Like, I have to bring it. Volcarona seems amazing. Pair it with Palmot. Palmot seems good. It pressures the Pelipper, which is really good. A Ninetales in the back, and then need Rillaboom. Baxcaliber is not bad either. The thing is, Rillaboom doesn't pivot into much other than Spores. Baxcaliber actually puts on offensive pressure. Fake Out is nice, but not necessary. I'll bring Bax. Because I do have some tech moves that could come into play in this game. And also a mon that's faster than Pelipper is always appreciated. And can like switch into like Hurricane okay-ishly. It's not like the best Hurricane switch, but it's usable. Versus the Incineroar and Arcalodon. Alright. Versus Palmot and the Volcarona. So this works out pretty well for me. I'm just going to go for a Fake Out into the Incineroar, and I'm going to Quiver Dance immediately. Not much to really be threatened here. If they want to go for a Electro Shot, so be it. If they want to switch into Pelipper, they lose their Sash, which I'll gladly take. So here comes a Fake Out into Incineroar. And a Quiver Dance. Okay. Are you going to break the Sash on the Palmot here? If you have Snarl, this is a little bit strange. Okay, you do have Snarl. Palmot avoids, which is nice because that's a Focus Sash, but... alright. I mean, boosting the special defense is all I really need. The problem is I can't really stall out the Snarls. But if you're clicking Snarl, it's not terrible for me. I do just want to Quiver Dance with Volcarona again. Can't really switch into these guys safely. I think I'm just going to close combat the Incineroar and get the damage into Incineroar because I do need damage in Incineroar. We're going to see the swap actually from the Arcalodon, which is nice for me. Amoonguss coming in is great because I didn't want to close combat -1. Seemed like I didn't get much momentum. So we get another Quiver Dance off, which is probably going to get Parting Shot, but at least I got a lot of damage in Incineroar and a +2 Spadef, which is really helpful for the Pelipper. So close combat going to come out in Incineroar. I can't keep getting away with this. I don't know what's up with this. I hope I get this look at Worlds. I hope I'm getting this look at Worlds. I was okay with playing this long one because I still think Volcarona pretty good. I was thinking, okay, Parting Shot, maybe Pelipper comes in. I go out into Ninetales. I'm in a great spot. Now it's like, all right, I'm in really good game spot. So I protect and bring in. I mean, they can Spore, I guess. I'm just gonna Giga Drain the Pelipper and go into Ninetales. I think that's pretty safe. If they Spore the Volcarona, that's okay. Because I break the Sash on Pelipper. If they protect Pelipper, that's okay too. I deny Weather Ball and I make the accuracy of the Hurricane really shaky. They gave me a lot of damage into Pelipper. Excellent. And it looks like we can get an Aurora Veil up in a couple turns. They go for Tailwind, which is interesting. And then also Spore into Ninetales. Okay. That works out for me. Because I'm +1, so Heat Wave would do a ton. I don't think it knocks out a Amoonguss. But I don't see a reason of not going for the Terra Grass, going for a Heat Wave here, and switching out the Ninetales back into Palmot for Fake Out pressure. Because this ignores the Spore from the Amoonguss and gets me a lot of damage into their slots, unless they decide to go for a Terra with Amoonguss, which they could. They could also protect with Amoonguss, which I think is okay as well. It can only Terra one mod, so they Terra the Amoonguss, then Arcalodon's vulnerable to close combats, which is pretty ideal. Get the Terra Grass with the Volcarona or the Spores. Let's see. Is there going to be a... Okay. Heat Wave comes out. Huge damage. Didn't knock out the Amoonguss, but pretty good damage across the board. Gonna heal with a Citrus Berry. Perfectly acceptable. And Spore? Oh, Clear Smog. Ah, that changes it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think I am very okay with that because I can go for a Quiver Dance once again. And I can Fake Out the Arcalodon Unless they spam Clear Smog over and over again, I'm pretty okay. I think the Amoonguss doesn't protect, so they might try to go Pelipper for the reducing the damage of Heat Wave. And they might be forced to. Like, Quiver Dance stalling out this Tailwind, and then I'll be able to manage with really strong Heat Waves afterward is like pretty ideal. I gotta watch out for Body Press though, because Body Press will actually do damage to Volcarona, since I didn't set up the Aurora Veil yet. Although I don't know if I'm able to because of the sleep. All right, they stay in. I guess they spam Clear Smog, or they spawn to Palmod, because if they spawn to Palmod, I'm in a really good spot, as I have Natural Cure. I don't really care about the sleep. I'll set up another Quiver Dance. Okay, they Pollen Puff to heal the Arcalon. That works too. Okay. I think if that's the case, I'm going to go for a Heat Wave and just a close combat into the Arcalon. If they want a Terra, it's fine, because they're most likely like a Terra Fairy or something that might be vulnerable to Giga Drain healing afterward. They are finally going to retreat the Amoonguss, which makes sense into Pelipper. I can always just switch out into Ninetales to get rid of it later. I don't think I'll knock out Pelipper with a +1 attack here. We'll see. Also, like, now that I think about it, I think it's very unlikely Arcalon has Body Press on this team, because you want to run Electroshot with Rain. They Terra Grass, which is okay, that's fascinating. I didn't think they were Terra Grass, but it works out. They Snarl. Okay, yeah. I don't think they actually have Body Press now that I think about it, because they have Snarl. And you want Electroshot, Flash Cannon, and Draco Meteor usually, or Dragon Pulse, one of the two. Heat Wave, good amount. All right. Close combat. Don't really do too much, but it's acceptable. I guess I just go for a Heat Wave once again. I don't know if they're gonna Wide Guard or not. Actually, I could just Giga Drain. Do I want a Giga Drain or do I want a Heat Wave? Heat Wave is like, if I hit it, I guarantee win. And +1 Spadef. It could be clicking Wide Guard with Pelipper if they have it. You know what? Let's go for a Heat Wave. Let's go for a Ninetales. I think this is still pretty alright trade-off wise, because Pelipper could also switch back into Amoonguss to try and win the Weather War again, which makes sense to me as well. If they take the knockout on Ninetales, that's completely fine. Okay, yeah, and if they just stay in, if I hit one of the Heat Waves and they didn't Wide Guard, I just guarantee to win. Very, very nice. It would have definitely been a more difficult game. Of course, if Incineroar didn't get crit by the close combat, I was actually hoping to see like how we would have played this long haul game. But with Terra Grass, Clear Smog was the deal breaker. That one changed the matchup for sure. But because it was Terra Grass Arcalon, I felt pretty good with Volcarona, and as long as I could pressure the slots in time. I don't know, would have still been interesting. Would have been a more interesting game for sure. But I think Volcarona definitely could have clutched it up. Annihilate, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Porygon 2, and Sinisha. Really, really bulky team. I imagine this is bulk up Annihilate on this team with the Blood Moon, Ursaluna. This is going to be pretty threatening wise. Damage output is scary. I do have quite a few tools to help out, but not easy to deal with this team. Do I want to bring Rillaboom? I feel like I don't bring Rillaboom. Bax is really good into this team overall. I kind of like Ninetales Bax a lot. It's pretty strong against a lot of their members. Foul play on the Porygon is one I'm really concerned about. Otherwise, I think we'll be okay. Empoleon's not terrible, but if they don't bring Incineroar, it's a lot less useful. I like Volcarona a lot because it helps out against the Annihilate. And I think I want to bring Palm off for Revival Blessing in case something goes wrong. I think these are right. Volcarona also helps with dishing out a lot of damage to the grass types. Wait, did they have Amoonguss and Sinisha, or is it just Sinisha? Wait, I didn't even think I double looked at that. They had a Porygon 2. And Palm Mod also helps against Porygon 2 because the close combat for an initial damage output is great. We'll see. Gonna be Porygon 2 and the Annihilate. All right. If this is Final Gambit, oh my goodness, but all right. Are they Trick Room is gonna be a good question. I'm gonna go for my Aurora. Do I want to go for Aurora Veil? I'd rather just Howl, I think. I could also Moonblast, double up the Annihilate if they don't expect it. That gives them a free switch to Blood Moon or Ursaluna, and then I have like no switches to it. So actually, I think I want to deny KOing as much as possible. I think I'm just gonna Howl, and I'm gonna go for an Icicle Crash into the Porygon. Is it worth me getting the flinch here? Or should I just go for the immediate Glaive Rush damage? I'd rather Icicle Crash, I think. Because the flinch chance would be huge. We're going to see a Terra. Perfect from the Annihilate. What Terra are you? Terra Fire is probably the worst case, actually. Alright. It's going to be scary. Going to be scary to deal with that Annihilate. Okay. Ow. We do have Aurora Veil. Icicle Crash going to come out into the Porygon. Really good damage. Bulk Up does come out. Yep. Snow defense increase and then Aurora Veil will help out a lot here. They do get Trick Room up. All right. So I'm going to go for my Aurora Veil. And I think I'm going to go for the Glaive Rush into the Porygon. I just don't know how I'm beating the Annihilate, but I think this Annihilate is actually going to sweep house with me. Bulk up again, which is not too surprising. Okay. If I had Encore on the Ninetales or Disable or something, that could have helped. But yeah, here comes a really strong attack. Okay. And Aurora Veil once again. So now we have the Snow and the defense. We had the Snow defense plus the Aurora Veil. I'm gonna go for a Howl, and I'm gonna protect the Baxcaliber. We take too much damage. They probably either recover with Porygon 2 and go for Bulk Up again. They could Drain Punch here and switch out to Ursaluna, which is also respectable. Let's see. Gotta stall out these Trick Room turns. I think I just keep spamming Howl with Ninetales. I don't know what I'm doing with I'm not sure what I'm doing in the end game just yet. They got maybe I should have attacked. It was a bit obvious I protected maybe, but we do get another Bulk Up. We're not powering up their Rage Fist at least, which is positive. I'm not sure how I'm beating the Annihilate. Terra Fire is something I probably had to bring Empoleon for. I do have high horsepower, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean, I keep boosting the stats, I think. Porygon retreats here. Okay, so somebody's taking a Glaive Rush. That is Casper the Sinistra. Okay, that works out. I get rid of Sinistra. Drain Punch. With the Snow, I'm able to tank it, which is great. Goodbye, Sinistra. Do I want to make a read again? I think I always Howl. If I get this read right, I feel like I'm in a great spot, but if I get this read wrong... Okay, it's Ursaluna, not Porygon. How many turns? Alright, still a weird spot. I'm gonna go for a Howl, and I'm gonna go for a Protect with Baxcaliber. So last turn, Trick Room. Let's see. I need a lot of damage here on the Annihilate. They go for Blood Moon. I don't think that KO's Ninetales because of Aurora Veil. Yep. Did they double though? Or did they Bulk Up again? They doubled. Okay. That's fine. That actually is probably better for me because I get to bring in Palmont now. Yeah, I get to bring in Palmot and threaten heavy close combat damage. So we're gonna go for a fake out into the Ursaluna to guarantee putting in range of close combat later, and I'm gonna high horsepower the Annihilate. I need this damage to be big damage. Okay, Ursaluna protects. I could have faked out the Annihilate. That's fine, because I can still play aggressive later on. High horsepower. I need to connect. Okay, beautiful. Good damage, actually. Really good damage. Brain punch. They do get recovery back. I don't know if I have enough damage output for it. Oh, not after leftovers, I think. I think I just brought the wrong mons. I think I probably should have brought Volcarona. If I had brought Empoleon, this game was actually like very, very doable. I think I close combat the Ursaluna. Yeah, I just don't have anything. Actually, I think I have to go for the crit here. I have to go for one of the crits, I think. Most likely it's crit into... Okay, they switch out Ursaluna, which is interesting. Into Porygon. I mean, that helps me a lot more, but if this protect, it's not helpful. Although I think you're attacking. Alright, double shock. It's against a +3 Annihilate. And we also need the Heat Wave to do a lot. Alright, let's find out. Because a lot is riding on this. Alright, no protects. Double shot coming out from the Palmod. How much damage does this do? Can I have this look at Worlds? Can I have this look at Worlds? I don't know what's going on with this episode. I feel like I've been getting extremely lucky in every game. Some of them helpful, some of them not necessary. Give me this look at Worlds. I don't know how much damage we would have done. Going for close combat into Porygon 2, which should pick up the knockout, and then I'm Quiver Dancing with Volk. Porygon goes down. We get a Quiver Dance up. We have Focus Sash and Revival Blessing as backups, if necessary. What is going on, man? Blood Moon into Volcarona. Yeah, it does absolutely no damage. And we still had Aurora Bell up too. Yeah, now we go for a close combat into the Earth. Actually, should I just Revival Blessing? I think I'll Revival Blessing. And go for Giga Drain because it covers a protect, like a random protect. I'll go be forfeit. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the calc is on +3. They made some really good plays. I think I should have maybe played a bit more aggressive backs. I think the protect on the Glaive Rush after the Glaive Rush the first time was really obvious. If I had gotten more damage, I think I would have had a lot more offensive momentum, and that would definitely been more ideal. But I should have gotten more damage, I think, into the Annihilate closer to the end of Trick Room. But I don't know what's up with this RNG, man. Give this to me at Worlds. Oh, it's our good friend Aqua. A rematch. Okay. Let's get some redemption. Ninetales Palmot again, a fantastic lead. Fantastic lead against their entire team. Let's bring the Empoleon once again. They know I have Haze and the Rillaboom. There's really no other four I would really want to bring other than maybe Bax. Let's see how this is gonna go. We do have the Howltech for the Golden Go. Let's see if we're able to implement it and get the KO into Golden Go, hopefully. This time around with a turn 1 Terra Electric. If they elite something else, sure. I think at this point, they're probably going to just save the Terra from the Stone Journer, because the Stone Journer's Terra wasn't the best for them. Wasn't the best for them. If I get the KO onto Golden Go early, I mean, no matter what, unless they had specs on the Golden Go with Electric move, they were really weak to Empoleon. I'd imagine their moves. I can't even imagine the moveset on Stone Journer, because we saw Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Is it Wide Guard Protect? Did we see Protect from the Stone Journer? I can't remember. Well, we get a rematch. Let's see if we get some tricks here. All right. What are you leading? Because I don't know what they can really lead to really stop the Ninetales lead. Annihilate Dragonite. Okay. I mean, I guess if you have Final Gambit, sure. Just gonna Freeze Dry and Close Combat the Dragonite in case it's Terra Normal. Which I think is a pretty fair play. I have no idea if this is Final Gambit on the Ape. It'd be pretty funny if they Terra Normal, they Final Gambit. No, they shouldn't do that, right? If you're Final Gambiting, you're Final Gambiting the Ninetales and not the Almada. If you Final Gambit, you shouldn't Terra your Dragonite. Dragonite is the awkward Pokemon here, mainly because it probably has access to Omnitangent. But I do need to be careful of the Annihilate because it's scary for my Empoleon. They go for Extreme Speed and Palmot, which makes sense. Are you Scarf on the Annihilate? Okay, you are. So you go for Close Combat, but you didn't Terra, so this is a free Freeze Dry into your Dragonite. Which I don't know if it KOs, but it'll do a lot. So here comes a Freeze Dry. Is that Multiscale or Assault Vest? I feel like it has to be one of the two. I'm going to Rillaboom, and I'm just going to fire off a Wood Hammer. I'm going to double up the Dragonite slot. As Extreme Speed into Close Combat, I don't think we'll knock out the Rillaboom, and this is Final Gambit 8, which means it has max HP and no attack. So I'm just going to go for Freeze Dry, and I'm going to go for a Wood Hammer into the Dragonite slot. And then I could set up with like a Roarvel, and then you turn out the next turn. They actually stay in to go for the Extreme Speed into the Ninetales and Close Combat Ninetales. That's not going to give it a knockout because of the snow. Perfect. Really good. And here comes the Freeze Dry into the Dragonite, which does pick up the knockout. I think it was Multiscale earlier. We have a Wood Hammer coming out. And then I guess it's going to come down to the last two. Maybe they didn't bring the Dondozo mode at all. Maybe it's like Empoleon plus, or maybe it's Golden Go plus whatever the last mod was, Stone Journer. Which is fine. All right, moment of truth. If the Golden Go is set up, it's really bad, but otherwise I think we're okay. No, it's Dondozo. Okay, I think we're good. Atsugira, yep. All right, I think Empoleon should guarantee to win here. They did keep the Terra though, so I'm a little bit concerned about what their Terra is. But Empoleon does have to 1v2. If that's the case, if they have a super threatening Terra, because they're gonna knock out Rillaboom, assuming Ninetales isn't faster. But yeah, we Aurora Veil, we U-turn out the Dondozo. Because I don't really see a point of using Terra Water on the low health Ninetales. Terra on Rillaboom doesn't change anything. So yeah, just go for the Terra. Save the Terra for Empoleon in case I need it. We do see a Terra. Is this grass? Grass makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay, we're good. Grass should be acceptable for us to win. Terra Blast onto the Ninetales to prevent Aurora Veil, but because we went for the U-turn, we'll have Fake Out Pressure. We can haze away the Dondozo boost, and then we have Flash Cannon Pressure. And then also, I don't think the Dondozo can actually beat the Rillaboom. So get that chip. All right, I think we're in the clear. A much cleaner game this time. Empoleon. And goodbye Dondozo stats. Fake out in the haze. I really do feel haze is a really important move to have. Clear smog is not bad. The problem with clear smog is Parasteel Dondozo is a thing. So we fake out the Dondozo, we go for the haze. I think we confirmed it wasn't Cobra Cloak the last time, yeah. So here comes the haze, and now we just spam Flash Cannon, U-turn a bunch into Dondozo. Eventually we'll break through the Dondozo because we're doing probably like what, 30, 35, maybe 40-ish% to Dondozo. And then we'll break through the Tatsugiri. Alright, Dondozo, do you have any surprise tricks? Because I'm not too worried about regular Terra Grass Terra Blast if it's non-boosted. It is grassy terrain, but with Empoleon having the leftovers in grassy terrain, we should be healing quite a bit. So they protect to stall out grassy terrain turns, which I don't know if you want to stall out grassy terrain turns because it's actually giving you more of a power up. But all right. Snow stops, but that didn't change anything. Not like I trigger him up. I'm going for a U-turn and a Flash Cannon. All right. Decent damage to Dondozo. It's faster than my Empoleon still. Yeah. Terra Grass Terra Blast. That's a crit, but we're still hanging on, baby. Flash Cannon. All right. That should be U-turn range. Oh, it's Citrus Berry. How many turns am I healing with the grassy terrain and leftovers? I have another turn, so I think I just protect Empoleon and U-turn. I don't really see too big of a punish. Oh, grassy terrain disappears from the battlefield. I think after a next turn of leftovers, I'm okay. How much did it do? Like 150, right? With the grassy terrain? Yeah, it might be close. We both protect to get leftovers recover. Well, I get leftovers recovered. They protected to scalp for my protect on Empoleon. But as long as I'm getting leftovers recovered, I think I'm okay. It's actually probably better for me that they didn't target the Rillaboom. So it depends on if it U-turn actually two shots the Dondozo. I think a lot of this is just going to come down to does Empoleon tank the Terra Blast the next turn. Do I want to take the knockout on a Dondozo with Empoleon? I think the answer is actually no. And the reason I don't is because I can get a hit off in a Tatsugiri. So I think I Water Pledge here. U-turn. Ooh, Water Pledge might still knock out. Oh, Earthquake. That's probably why they were stalling at the grassy terrain. Okay. Empoleon goes down. It's down to Rillaboom against the Tatsugiri. This endgame actually got a lot scarier now. All right, goodbye Dondozo. A lot is going to come down to Tatsugiri. I don't think Woodhammer KOs Tatsugiri, and it's probably Sash anyway, so I have to play with the recoil in mind. We saw the Tatsugiri protect earlier. I think I Grassy Glide the Tatsugiri first and then Woodhammer. They go for a Muddy Water. Okay, no accuracy drop. I think they were trying to... They had the same thought process as me, as where if I Woodhammer the Tatsugiri and the Tatsugiri survives, which it could be Sash on the Tatsugiri, which is what I'm assuming. Then they could go for Draco Meteor because after the recoil, it knocked me out. But now they got to go for Draco Meteor crit. Draco Meteor, I do dodge, but they did need to crit with the Tatsugiri in order to pick up the knockout on Rillaboom. I get the KO onto Tatsugiri. There's the crit. There's the crit. But not with the Tatsugiri. Fortunately, and we take a game. All right. Cleaner than the last one. There was still RNG involved. I think without the Terra Grass Terra Blast, we were in a really safe spot. I guess I could have Terra'd Empoleon. I think I should have Terra'd Empoleon. Maybe. Then I get put in range of Muddy Water. They're more inclined to click Muddy Water. Then accuracy drop could happen onto Rillaboom. But maybe I had to dodge that regardless. But Haze Empoleon clutching up to deal with the Dondozo in the end game. All right, let's go over the games. In game 1, I really thought that a +1 double shock would knock out Golden Go, but I ended up getting very bailed. It was still theoretically possible to win without the misses, but it would have been really tough. In game 2, an early crit on Incineroar made it easier for my Volcarona to set up, which was nice, and that's exactly what Volcarona did in order to sweep. Game 3, Terra, Fire, Annihilate was the only one I didn't want to see. Empoleon would have been a better bring over Volcarona in that case, but Palma was able to land another crazy critical hit to beat the Annihilate, which I'm unsure mattered, but most likely did. In game 4, a rematch with my opponent switching up the lead. The crit into Empoleon wasn't great, and I should have Terra'd on the Earthquake, but was able to beat the Dondozo and Tatsugiri with Rillaboom after the Haze. Okay, can I get this luck for Worlds? I don't know what was up with my luck throughout this episode, but it was absolutely crazy, because I feel like if you're using screens, you're usually the one who is getting lucked by critical hits generally that happen. But I feel like that there were a lot of things that I did like about the team. Aurora, I think, is super cool. I think Empoleon was super neat. I think Revival Blessing, I think Palma's pretty solid overall. Baxcaliber is the weird one. I felt like overall, I don't think it really took advantage too much. I mean, there's a lot of counterplay, as I mentioned before, so its benefits might not be as shining as its weaknesses, so definitely a consideration. But overall, not a bad team. If you would like to try it out, the rental code is on your screen for a very limited time, so make sure you try it out while you can. Otherwise, the details of the team and the creator, myself, I guess, down below in the description. Make sure you check out all my links, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.